Okay, so maybe gold bombs will work better for this. Oh yeah, there we go. So can it break it? Yeah, they're pretty darn resistant. But it looks like you would eventually break them. Okay, so I think that's going to pretty much do it. I think we left pretty much everything intact that I wanted to leave intact. So yeah, you could potentially use this to blow the roof off your house if you just really didn't like the way the roof looked. How's it going, everyone? Javita here with another 178 feature introduction. If you're not familiar, this patch is live on the testing servers and adds just a crazy amount of content. As such, I'll be breaking down the major features into their own little videos, and then finally a release overview for all the nitty-gritty details afterwards. I've already done one such video on the new atlases, and today I'm going to be showing off the bombs. These are some amazing tools. I'm super excited to get these in live. I do say tools because while they can damage creatures, you end up doing way more damage to the terrain than you do the creatures. The other reason, there's two reasons, is that because all bombs share a unified durability of 99. So these do act essentially like sling bows in that they have a durability. They're not individual items, but the durability is still 99 for all the bombs. It doesn't matter if you're using gems or copper, iron, they all have the same durability. Since we are dealing with durability, the item durability bonus skill should reduce the wear on these. As well, there's also some sort of food I've heard that adds the same effect. So I'll have to do a little bit of testing to see if the skills and the food will stack together to stretch these even farther. So that aside, bombs are split into two major categories. Over here we have the damaging bombs. Sorry my inventory is such a disaster, but we have the damage bombs over here, starting with iron bombs, moving up to gold, titanium, and then into the gems, which are ruby, emerald, and diamond. Off to over here we have the support type bombs. These do not damage the terrain or creatures, they help your allies. So starting off we have the copper healing bomb, followed up by its gem counterpart, the sapphire healing bomb, and then the silver recovery bomb with its gem counterpart, topaz recovery, and then finally we have the amethyst cleansing bomb. So healing obviously will boost your allies' hit points, recovery is for their stamina, and then cleansing is to remove debuffs such as acid, scarring, and chill, things like that. So pretty awesome. A cool thing about all of these support bombs is that you can actually use them on yourself as well. So if you can manage to hug the person you're trying to heal, you can get some of the effect yourself if you need it. So a quick rundown on how bombs work. As soon as you action them, the fuse starts. You can continue to hold down the mouse button to charge up the throw. The bombs will automatically throw before they blow up in your face, so which is pretty sweet because you can actually see the fuse burning down in your hand. So as you can see, I managed to get that far by holding it down for the maximum amount of time. However, I can get it to go even further by letting it go a little bit earlier, just because the fuse has a little bit extra time. If you simply click, the bomb will just go a few blocks in front of you and then blow up. Other than mastery, the only other skill that I'm aware that affects these, other than maybe power, is control. Control increases your interact range as well as your throwing speed. So I'm not 100% sure what this really affects, so I guess let's find out. Okay, so at this point it takes 50 skill points per attribute, so I was only able to get the first 3 ranks of control. It's a little bit unfortunate. So I believe that's the hole I made from just rolling, and Let's see what happens. So it's pretty similar. Yeah, so it's not really making the projectile move faster, or the bomb move faster. So maybe it makes the bomb charge up faster. So I'm guessing it has to do with the charge speed, but not 100% sure. Obviously I'll need to test that a little bit more in the future when I have enough skill points. So starting off with the damaging bombs first, since they all have a unified durability, your two main concerns are basically how much damage it does and its area of effect. So far, bombs seem to have a minimum area effect of 2 meters, so it blows up 2 meters in every direction from the bombs, all the way up to 4 meters, which would be either gold does 4 meters, as well as diamonds does 4 meters. Rubies do the maximum amount of damage at 2,500. However, in testing, all these bombs can one-shot dirt on the ring worlds. However, all of the bombs take at least 2 to break rock on the ring worlds. So probably my very first thought for the use of these would be to dig holes underneath portals. So there's kind of 2 ways to go about this. You can of course just simply drop it on the ground and let it blow up, but it kind of, as you see, leaves a staircase built in. So probably a better way to do this would be to simply dig a pilot hole and then drop the bomb in there. And there we go. We still maybe have a little bit of cleanup to do here, but quite a bit less than this. Okay, so as you can see, bombs do automatically detonate on impact with creatures, and as you can see, yeah, one dead spitter and look at all this destruction of terrain. So granted, this is a diamond bomb, these have the maximum AoE. There are bomb augments planned that I believe will boost the AoE range, but I'm really not 100% sure on that. I just know that they're not quite ready yet. So again, for digging a hole under a portal, you can just drop this on the ground, let it blow up, and the gold bomb does a pretty okay job. I mean, there's still some staircases left, so you can come over here, actually go ahead and dig a 2 deep hole and see how well that does. Oh, look at that. That is beautiful. You really don't even have to try to center that on a portal either. That would just kind of get everything. And kind of convenient that it doesn't one-shot the rock, because now you have this beautiful floor to it. So as long as it doesn't open up to caves, pretty awesome. Another good thing to note is that bombs cannot break resources. So you could also use these as mining equipment to find resources even faster if you feel like splurging. It's pretty amazing. So if you haven't already noticed, any blocks that are broken by the bombs are destroyed. So on one hand, you can't use these to quickly mine dirt, but on the other hand, you don't have to worry about your inventory being flooded with unwanted dirt blocks during a hunt. Pretty amazing. So as I said before, your 2 main concerns are on damage and area of effect. Most of these stats are shared between the bombs, such as projectile speed, action speed, critical strike stuff, durability. All of that is pretty much the same. Where they differ is, of course, the damage, area of effect, energy drain, and knockback. Knockback is only if you're hitting creatures, so I don't really recommend using them for that, so I really wouldn't worry about it. So breaking down the bombs by area of effect, we have iron bombs and ruby bombs at 2 meters, titanium and emerald at 3 meters, and then finally gold and diamond at 4 meters. So gold and diamond are your mass clears, and you got your middle ground with balanced damage and AoE, and then finally your high damage but low AoE bombs here. Iron bombs do 800 damage, which is identical to gold bombs. Titanium is a happy middle ground at 1200 damage. Rubies are the highest damaging bombs at 2500, however it still takes 2 bombs to break rock on ring worlds. Emeralds are a nice middle ground at 1500 damage, and then diamond bombs at 1200 damage. So, very nice. So let's try another experiment with, ooh, that was actually 3 blocks deep. Didn't mean to go that deep, but let's see how well iron bombs can be used to dig a hole for maybe portals. Ooh, yeah, so 3 blocks, too deep. Come over here, 2 blocks should be perfect. Holy crap, look at that hole. So if there was a little bit more dirt at the bottom, it still would leave a plus pattern. However, that is a perfect 3x3 hole. Amazing. So if you line these up just absolutely perfectly underneath a portal, you could get away with using those. Titanium would of course be a safer bet. So since titanium can do 3 blocks, we should be able to do a 3 deep hole. But we'll find out. Oh, very nice, look at that. And of course, since we're on a starter world, these bombs can one-shot rock, so very nice. And we've already shown off what a gold bomb can do. You could of course use a diamond bomb. This would do the same hit, however it would also break out this stone. But keep in mind, on ring worlds it would take at least 2 bombs to break any rock. Okay, so jumping back over to my house, I did a little experiment. You can very quickly dig a hole basically straight down to bedrock. I did run into lava way down there, but something I do want to show off is, okay, you can dig down, but that's only so useful. But I did want to show off, with a little bit of care, you can actually use these to dig horizontally. So basically you just want to dig a small pilot hole, pick your bomb of choice. I'm going to use titanium. So it does leave a kind of a messy floor here. So let's see if we can't make that a little bit smoother, see if a 1 block hole would be So we still have this bump here, so you're really just picking your bump distance. So I guess what if we took a block placed here. Let's see. Assuming this doesn't roll right. Oh, yeah, it just rolls right off. So, takes a little bit of practice. So, for ease of use, oh, that worked a little bit better, but I guess that misfire kind of. So, for maximum destruction, you could dig the hole as deep as the AoE effect. So for diamond bombs, that would be 4 blocks. Throw a bomb in. And now, I mean, you have a bigger bump to run over, but you're making progress a little bit faster. So kind of personal preference on how you would want to do that. That's so nice. And again, you don't have to worry about it breaking resources, since they are immune to bombs. Pretty sweet. So, for quickly digging holes under portals, clearing plots, or very rapidly mining, bombs are pretty darn invaluable. And certainly a blast to use, corny pun intended. So jumping over to my crafter, all metal bombs are essentially the same recipe. It'll be their base material, so silver will of course need silver alloy, iron will of course use iron. They all take bomb charges, and then sackcloth. All current cloth in the game will be converted to sackcloth. It's just the new cloth. Jumping over to the bomb charges, they can be found by turning on the filter for resources and then moving to the component section. Scroll down past all the vital essence, and then we have bomb charge. It's a relatively straightforward recipe. It does take volatile blood, which comes only from hoppers, which makes sense. They're the explosive creatures of the game. Also takes flint, which can be found off of just mining rock and the surface resources. And then saltpeter, which the description says mostly found from sand and sedimentary rock. If I'm not mistaken, this can also drop off of surface resources. I have heard complaints that this is a little bit on the rare side to find. However, I'm fairly certain that luck should affect the drops of this. However, I still feel that the limiting factor will be the volatile blood, especially since this has a chance to just drop off of mining rock in general. Moving on to the diamond bombs. The diamond bombs have an extra ingredient. They need their elemental shard. So for diamond, you're going to need a diamond shard or a blast shard. I'm not 100% sure how you obtain these items. My current understanding is that they would come from the elemental creatures. So in order to make diamond bombs, I guess you would have to go to Adowing and kill the elemental creatures there to get these elemental shards. So as far as I'm aware of, these elemental shards are needed for all gem weapons. However, they are not required for gem tools. Moving on to the support bombs. First off, we have the healing, which would be copper and sapphire. Pretty much the only difference between the two are going to be the amount healed. So copper only does 600, whereas sapphire does 3000. Intelligence will also boost healing done much the same way as power increases damage for tools and weapons. Moving on, we have the recovery bombs, silver and topaz. Again, the main difference is the amount. So recovery has to do with stamina, so silver bombs would recover 1000 stamina. And then finally topaz would do 4000 stamina. Quite nice. One thing to note is that intelligence does not seem to affect stamina recovered from bombs. Finally, we have cleansing bombs. These are for removing debuffs. The cleansing mechanic in Boundless removes duration off of the debuff instead of removing it completely. So depending on the strength of your effect will depend how quickly you can remove debuffs. So first things first, it's good to know that you cannot heal creatures. So let's beat up on the spitter a little bit. Okay. However, they will trigger the bomb to blow up. So normally it would take a while for this bomb to blow up, but as you can see, if it hits the spitter, it blows up automatically. It is good to note that if you're targeting a player, you can heal yourself if you're within the blast range, so quite nice. So the sapphire bombs do the 3000 damage, plus I have a little bit of intelligence, so that gives me the extra 333 healed. Copper bomb, of course, does less. Does, let's see here, 677. Wow, that's really hard to see. Yeah, 677. Oh, that's a very cool sound effect. And next we have the stamina recovering bombs. Again, those will trigger if they hit monsters, but will not restore their stamina. And just like the healing bombs, you can use them to restore your own stamina. Obviously, there's easier ways to restore your personal stamina, but you could stack up with a large group of players to get the most out of them. And of course the Topaz recovery bombs do more. Nice, 4,000. Healing is usually one of my favorite roles to play in any MMO, so I'm particularly excited for these new support bombs. At any rate, they should add an interesting new element to the group events. So all around an amazing feature. It is slightly sad that they don't make very good weapons, but maybe in the future they could add a damaging bomb that does not break the surrounding blocks. However, I have to say 20 players throwing around bombs all at the same time would be a bit like constant carpet bombing and probably would be detrimental for the player experience. So, with that said, I think we've covered the bombs pretty well. This was Javita. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more like this, and if there's anything you didn't like, please let me know down below. Until next time, peace.